Hey everybody, Elite Mobile Auto Electric here on another episode on a 98 Ford Expedition. It is the 5.4 engine. Customer complaint is actually got called in from a shop. Rebuilt the engine. They can't figure out the issue. It's idling pretty rough. Check engine light is on. They can't seem to figure out what's wrong with this issue. So I got called in for a diagnostic. 5 minutes in, did a full scan and found a couple of codes that were being triggered. But one in particular I did notice. One of the codes was ignition distributor engine speed circuit fault. That was one of my main concerns. There was another one, ignition coil D primary circuit. It does not misfire, and that one wasn't so much of a concern. I have a delta pressure feedback EGR circuit high voltage, and mass airflow sensor intermittent. That one was my other biggest concern. So let me turn on the truck, and then that way you're able to hear how's it running. It runs pretty rough, but let me start it and I'll get right back to you. All right, so I turned it on, and it sounds like a little misfire. Sounds pretty rough. You can barely hear the exhaust. Now this engine shop actually rebuilt this engine, but couldn't figure out why was it idling like this. Their major concern was that it was probably a TPS sensor or injector that was staying stuck on. But one of the things that I did notice was that the mass airflow sensor intermittent and the ignition distributor speed circuit. So one of the things that I usually do is when I get here, I do a visual check. As you can tell, my wires are exposed. I don't like that. The fan is right near it, and these can easily get tangled up with the fan. The loom, it's loose. But as far as I know that the mass airflow sensor is right here, just under this housing. All the air is supposed to come up through here. It cannot escape from there or any other hose, or else it won't be able to calibrate the air coming in through this sensor. One thing that I did notice was that this grommet, it's actually off. So there's air coming through the bottom side right past the sensor. So of course it's not going to calibrate it good how it should. So we got to push this grommet in, make it a good seal, and put this back. I gotta fix that loom that they left. But as you can see now, the truck is idling way better. It's not idling any rough. So one of the things is that they need to visually inspect, make sure everything is on, not just because everything's put on, just start it up and drive it out the lot and expect it to take it like that. But visually inspect your work after you're done. something simple as this grommet not being pushed in all the way would have caused a rough idle. You accelerate it and it just kind of pulls back or backfires. Things like that are the things that you want to make sure that they are installed correctly. Any vacuum hose leak, it's gonna idle pretty rough. It's not gonna function 100% how it should. And now you can actually hear the exhaust. Idling perfect. My belief is that one of his techs probably put this back together and did not double check his work to make sure everything's how it should. I will put that loom right back on that mass airflow sensor. It should not be like that. Those wires will get exposed later on in the future. It will probably start rubbing on anything, and then it'll just start creating a short. But customer did call me in for that rough idle. The rest of the codes, I gotta talk to him, make sure if he wants me to diagnose those or if he's good for now with that. But the rough idle was the one that he called me. He wanted to get it fixed. But it's running like a champ now.